It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Hello, model citizens, and welcome to Humanity Junction. Tonight on Trains and Tech, we are going to look at a little bit of the progress that I've made on the layout, and it has unfortunately just been a little bit because I am also planning an adventure for this weekend. If you don't know, I am going to take a trip where I'm traveling into the middle of absolutely nowhere, USA. They call it Springfield. It's near some city called Boston. I don't know, never heard of the place, but I'm going to be making a visit out to Amherst and having a fantastic time. We'll talk a little bit more about what I'm doing. I got a couple slides about the antics that we might be up to over the weekend, but I hope everyone is doing fantastic. Today, I saw Dennis from Otter Creek had to leave, which means we can have a fantastic show. So on that note, let's start off with the first slide, shall we? See, Andy's always appreciating the slides. Andy's actually my roommate on this weekend adventure. Andy's always up for an adventure, and it's going to be good stuff. It's going to be good stuff. First thing, I do just want to mention, I made a 360 video. I shot it back in December when I was down in Edison, New Jersey. but I just got it edited and uploaded this past week. I'm curious what people think about this style of video, the 360, somewhat kind of immersive-ish video. Um, should I be doing more of these? Should I not? So just trying to get the word out there, see if people like the video or not. John wants to know if there'll be a quiz. 100% there will be a quiz. If you do not pass the quiz, you will not be able to watch any of the videos over the weekend. Another thing I do want to ask, while I have a little bit of your attention, if you're not a subscriber, I would love it if you would subscribe. I've got a little bit of a game with myself going that I know I have no control over it, but I think I'm like 4 away from 2750, and I thought it would be really fun to get, I don't know, those round numbers are a lot of fun. So if you can help me get there, I would appreciate it. David Z to G, my understanding from what I saw, and this is based primarily on the website as well as an email communication that I had with one of the customer service people, but it used to say, the model train stuff website used to say that they were closed for a reorganization, and as of at least today, last I saw, it says that their business has ceased. So yeah, that was quite the wild ride. The customer service rep also emailed me as well and confirmed that that was the case. So MB Klein started off as a hardware store selling model trains in the back and became, what we know of today. So I am sad to see it go. They were always always, a good shop to work with. I do, try and spread it around a little bit, but they were always a great shop to work with. So now that we've got that out there and we've brought the mood down a little bit, I guess the next thing we should talk about is, let's jump a little bit more into the Amherst show. I am going up there. I'm going up there tomorrow. And tomorrow night, Thomas from Split Rock 323, who you guys know from the Twin Cities division and the Crossing Gate podcast, we are going to do a pre-show, not from the event, but we're going to do a pre-show about the event and just kind of talk about, we'll go through the floor plan, we'll see, we'll talk a little bit about what do we want to see at the show, what are we going there for, and all of that goodness. Bernard, you are more than welcome to crash the event. And speaking of crashing the event, there is going to be a YouTube meetup. I don't know who's arranging this one. I don't know if it was Bernard or if it was Sparky or what happened, but there's going to be a YouTube meetup on Saturday at noon at the Mini Prince booth. So no matter what is happening at Saturday at noon, Bernard has given us permission to barge into the booth and take over and play with whatever. No, we're not going to barge in, but he is offering up his space for us. So it's a good opportunity to get involved and to hang out with people. I have been talking to Gregory Moss, who is the media coordinator for the Amherst Society, and they are doing a lot for YouTubers this year. They've got a room set up that they're offering for YouTubers to use if they want to do interviews off of the show floor, so they can have a little bit of peace and quiet. Gregory Moss is also doing some work to open up the space for us on Friday to do a little, pre-event stuff. So I will be doing a pre-event stream. You can go to my channel, and I guess I should post a link to my channel. I guess you're on my channel. I need to post a link to my channel. But if you go to my channel, I have set up some preliminary streams for the weekend. I don't know if I am going to keep to those times. I might do more streams. I might do less streams. I don't know what's going to happen, but I wanted to get some streams up there. So click the notify me. And whenever I do end up moving the stream to, you will be notified that I am doing the stream. And if you are looking for me walking around the floor, I don't know if you can see this monstrosity I've got set up here, but I've got my rig planned. If you guys were around the other night, you saw I did do a little bit of a test with it that worked out okay, not great, but we're gonna have a little bit of a rig for this year. So if you see some weirdo walking around with all this camera equipment, come say hello. There will likely only be one being this ridiculous, although there will likely also be many other people there doing a show, but I'll probably be the only one with a rig just as ridiculous with that one as well. It is new and improved over the mic box. Did I retire the box? Yeah, so I don't know if you can see this. I do have on here a little shotgun mic set up here that'll pick up front and back. I had a really hard time at the show getting people to actually like talk into the microphone. They wouldn't like hold it up to their mouth, so I wasn't really sure how to solve that problem. So I'm thinking of doing the shotgun instead. Honestly, I don't even know if I could find that blue box anymore, because I'm sure like I put it away after the show and I don't know where I put it. So I probably would have to go dig it out of some hole for it to make a reappearance at the show. So I don't know that it's gonna be there. I don't know that I can find it. I don't know. I, I don't know. I don't know. Just join the streams. I am sure, I can almost guarantee there is going to be complete chaos, because that's just the way it goes. That might be true. I might find out that I have a banana in the blue box. If you don't know, there's a story about the banana. It goes way back. But yes, it is true. But yeah, I don't know why people wouldn't hold the box up, and I don't know how to get people to hold the box up. So we're gonna try a couple of different things and kind of, see how things go, because that's what we do when we're streaming at Amherst. What other things do I have? Any other questions about Amherst before I get off the Amherst topic? Because I do actually have non-Amherst stuff to talk about, but we can keep talking about Amherst because I know some people want to. That's funny that you say that's the wrong color blue. I don't know about that. I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, so the problem is the people on the stream got the gist, but as I went to a new person, they didn't quite get it. So it was I don't know. I did think about trying to get an old, either a boxcar or a tank car, and build the mic into that, but with with the difficulty people had with the blue box last year, I think that might be even harder. And I do want to give a shout out. There was a guy, and I didn't see the video. When I chose to use the Athearn blue box, I swear I didn't see the video, but there is a guy out there. If you look on TikTok, I believe is where the video is. He used the Athearn blue box, I think the year before I did. So it's a great idea, but it wasn't my idea. I just stole the idea, and I mean, you know, you gotta admit it's a pretty good idea, you know, when it comes down to it. I mean, it's, you know. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a little transition to a new section of the show, and I don't know how often I'm gonna do this, but I think it's kind of fun to have, you know, like sections of the show where I've already lost. Oh, it's over here. I plugged it in over here, and I didn't know where I plugged it in. People like different sections of the show, so I thought I would sort of title this one, and it's still a work in progress. I'm not exactly sure, but I figure this would be the way to do it. And I thought I'd title this section of the show, I Have a Problem. And I know with me, right, like you're thinking like, oh, he's got a problem, like what problem doesn't he have? But I thought it would be fun, instead of, we're gonna change things up. You know how I like doing unboxings. Well, my unboxings are now gonna be called I Have a Problem, and they're gonna be about my problem that I have buying too much stuff. I don't know if anybody's noticed or not. It could be hard to notice from some of these camera views, but there's a lot of stuff in here. And I keep saying I'm done buying stuff. Right? Like, no more stuff. I don't need any more stuff. And we're heading to a show, right? I'm going to, in my opinion, one of the best. This is bothering me. I have to fix this. Tilt the camera down. We're going to one of the best train shows. It's just incredible. It's just incredible. We even have on my Discord channel. There's a Discord channel for this channel or whatever, where people can talk to each other, like, you know, whatever. We have a channel that we call BMT, which is the Buy More Trains Discord channel, where we post the stuff we're buying. And I keep saying I'm not buying any more stuff. No more. So I'm doing a section called I Have a Problem, because yes, I've bought more stuff, and as much as I say I'm not going to buy anything at Amherst, something tells me I'm going to buy stuff at Amherst. And yes, the president of the BMT club will also be at Amherst. He will be bringing a backpack with some stuff in it. We need to help him empty that backpack so that he can fill that backpack with more things. It's all part of the weekend. So, what did I buy? What did I get? Well, first thing I bought was kind of not really a purchase, and a lot of you have probably already seen this. If you haven't seen this, go subscribe over to Joe Rader and the Black Rock Central Railroad. He's got his freelance railroad. He calls it the Black Rock Central. And he's been doing some cars where if you go over and visit his layout, you can leave with your very own car. And I decided that I would like to try and get as many cars as I can from other layouts, and then ship goods between my layout and other people's layouts. So I asked Joe if he would be willing to make one in N scale. And Joe said, I've never done one in N scale. I don't know if I can do it, but I'll give it a try. So I bought the car, shipped it off to Joe. Joe did some work on it, posted a video up on it. If one of the moderators can find that video and post it up in the chat, I would really appreciate that. But I did get the car recently, and I unfortunately, if I'm going to do this, I have a problem section. I'm going to probably need to get my lighting fixed up a little bit better for this section, but it's a 40-foot boxcar because, oh no, it's a 50-footer. It's a 50-footer. Yes, not another 40-footer. I kind of joke about that because if you look up there, like a lot of those are 40-foot boxcars. So the 50-footer, but 40s, 50s, all kind of similar. But go check out Joe's channel. Check out the video. He made it. Looks fantastic. He did a little weathering on it as well. I still need to work out with Joe exactly what I am going to ship to him. Andy, I know you have N scale as well as O scale. I know you know how small this is, but in honor of another layout, I also made another purchase recently. Some people may know Robert from Flying Crow. Robert was on my channel a few times, and I actually have a short video of Robert the Flying Crow, of him doing a little bit of a flyby on my channel during one of the streams. And I like to joke around with Robert about him modeling KCS, Kansas City Southern. And I thought, you know what? I give the guy a really hard time. So, I was looking around and I said, what do I definitely not need any more of? What do I have way more than enough of? And if I see one with a good price, I'm not gonna get it. I'm gonna move on. Well, it's another 4-axle locomotive because I'm a little bit addicted to 4-axle locomotives. So yes, I got this KCS Atlas with ESU decoder 4-axle locomotive, and I'm gonna run this on my layout in honor of KCS Railroad and Flying Crow and all of the hard times, out of fun. It's just, just from fun. But we're gonna run that on the layout. So another 4-axle switcher. And the funny thing is, Scale Trains did, was it a podcast or a live? I can't remember. I think it was Around the Layouts podcast, and they talked about upcoming stuff, and they talked about some N scale stuff coming out. So I'm hoping that they're gonna come out with some 4-axle stuff as well, because we need more 4-axle stuff out there. And I don't know. I made a Facebook group up. If you go on Facebook, it's called Only 4-Axles. You can go to only4axles.com. It'll transfer to it. But anything with 4-axles, I just KCS, right? Good stuff. So again, we'll look at it one more time just to see it, right? I've got enough stuff on the wall. I don't need anything else. It's a pretty big box, isn't it? I don't know. I have this problem sometimes where at night I will get on eBay and I'll just start poking around. And sometimes I'll start finding oh, that's a good deal on a boxcar. Oh, that's an okay deal on a boxcar. That's not so much a good deal on a boxcar, but it's kind of neat. And since I'm buying this other stuff already, I'm already paying for shipping, so adding another car in, even if the price on that box car isn't quite as good as the price on the initial car that got me down the rabbit hole in the first place. So, I start going through all this justification in my head that, the justifications of why I need to buy more stuff because I don't have enough stuff, right? There's almost a couple of inches in this room. There's almost enough space for me to actually walk around, and I just realized I don't even have anything to cut this open. So I need to go back in here, back into the little secret lair, pull this out. I don't know, can anybody tell actually? I did actually work on the layout. This used to be a black lighting valance, and it used to only be 4 inches tall. And now let's turn this light on. Maybe this will help. Maybe you can see a little better there. So this is now, it's no longer the 4-inch, I don't have an example of it, but now it's bigger and the colors match as well. So I did this in the last week, and I am going to make the corners curved. Dennis from Otter Creek was like, "You're going to curve those corners, right?" And I was like, I don't know that I am. I think it's okay that they're like that. And Dennis said, "You're going to curve those corners, right?" And I said, "Yeah, I guess I'm going to curve the corners." So I'm going to get a little piece of something, put it in here. Same stuff as this, actually. Joey has been very gracious and helped me out. He's got some of this thin board that he uses that curves extremely well. So I'm going to get a piece of that from up here and put I don't know how steep of a curve. I don't know if it's going to be just a little curve or it's going to be a big curve. I haven't quite decided how big the curve is actually going to be yet, but I'm going to do a curve there. So there's, curve here, curve there, and curve here, curve there. But yeah, I mean, I'll talk about what's on top of the bench work, which hasn't been making as much progress. But I mean, I've got tablets here. These tablets actually show the oh, of course this one doesn't want to connect, but the tablets show the layout, and I can push buttons on the tablets, and we'll talk about that a little more later. But I've got the tablet holders, I've got the car holders, I've got the lighting valance up. I didn't get very far. With the track though. Yeah, so if you want to support my addiction, my problem, I guess you can say, I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. I love doing this content. I love doing these streams. So, I just love this stuff. And should we start looking in this box? Should we see what's in here? I'm gonna leave this light on actually, because it might make it easier to see what's in here. But I go down the rabbit hole of buying some of these old box cars, and then you need to buy metal wheel sets for all of them too. So I bought these metal wheel sets, and I triggered so many people on Facebook. It was, I don't know, there was that many, but I had a good time triggering the people that I did. The price that's on this sticker is the retail price, and people were saying, they were saying, "You got ripped off," and I was like, "I didn't pay that price, but that's the price on the box." So yeah, so I got some more metal wheel sets. I need to start putting resistors on them, and I did post something on Facebook about the wheel sets. So tell me about model trains. I like model trains. Yeah, we're getting to an unboxing. We are. If I stop getting distracted, this will probably go a little bit faster. I keep thinking about Amherst though. There's a lot of last year was easy at Amherst because nobody expected anything of me. And when nobody expects anything of you, it's very easy to meet their expectations. And people have expectations, right? You always say, like, don't have any expectations, just like see how it goes. You'll be so much happier if you don't expect anything out of it. Just see how it goes. But people have expectations. And after last year's streams, I thought they went really, really well. I'm worried about bandwidth this year. I think a lot of people are going to be doing streams this year, and I think that's going to impact bandwidth. So I'm a little worried about that. I think there's going to be a lot more people there this year, so I'm a little worried about that. So I'm not sure how it's going to go, but I really want to enjoy Amherst this year and just have fun and just talk to people. I posted another video recently of this older couple that I met at the last show, and I was filming the N scale, the N track layout, and this older gentleman just sort of was like staring at me, and I was like, oh, does he want to talk to me maybe? So like, I turned it, turned around, I was like, hey, you doing whatever, and had this great conversation with him, and it was just, we get to meet a lot of people here on YouTube. We get to meet some people in our areas. Sometimes it's, harder to meet local people, but I've been getting out more, getting more connected with people in the area, visiting more layouts, more operations sessions. Actually, so speaking of operations sessions, I did actually go to an op session on Sunday. Had a really great time. I've been doing more yard work at this layout, and I've really been enjoying yard work for operations. So I'm happy. I've got 2 yards on my layout. So thank you, Mr. Lynn McCurdy, to help with my addiction at Amherst. So where was I? What was I talking about? I was talking about, no, it was before that. We were, the unboxing. Right. So I got some more stuff. Where this at? So here's the irony of this to some extent is the first item that attracted me to this seller, and this is a seller that I've actually bought a lot of stuff from, and their shipping is kind of high if you buy one item, but if you buy a bunch of items, the shipping works out pretty well. Oh, Sparky, I'm sorry. There are no peanuts, Sparky. It's all just paper. I should maybe save this paper though, because when I painted this valance, one of the things that I did was I got out a drop cloth so that I could put some paper down because I didn't want to get the track dirty. So maybe I'll save this paper and I can use this to protect the track. Put it in order for what? The wheel sets, the Intermountain wheel sets. Does anybody know? I hear Tangent also has metal wheel sets, but I haven't. I've only been able to find the 36-inch ones. I haven't found the 33-inch ones. So I want to know if Tangent also has them. I feel like, feeding the addiction, while I appreciate it, I immensely appreciate it. I feel like we've discussed I have a problem. I don't know, like, is feeding the addiction? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But Dave is right. If you go to Iron Planet Hobbies, use the code HUMAN. I do have a discount code with them, as well as some other vendors. And I showed them all at the beginning, and I'll show them again at the end. Support the people that support us. I love these smaller companies that do what they do. A lot of them doing it as second jobs. Some of them start as second jobs, turn into free. They're really, really good people. You guys keep distracting me. We're gonna open this box, right? Stop distracting me. Helping with your addiction so you don't do some unlawful things on the street for money. I don't think you have to worry about that. Mike Dunstan has 12 packs of Atlas 33-inch metal wheel sets that I'm not using. Are those N scale? I don't know what that part number is. The other thing with the metal wheels that you have to be a little bit careful of is they specifically make some for micro trains. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that or not, but they specifically make some for micro trains, and the difference is that the micro trains ones are 0.537-inch axle length. And these are slightly different axle length than like what comes on an Atlas, which I don't know off the top of my head what that is, but slightly different than what's on the axle. Mike, I will talk to you on Discord about those metal wheel sets. I would be interested in them, but yes, axle length is different, so check your axle length. I've been getting Intermountain ones because they make the microtrain specific ones, and they work really well. I did a video way back about the rolling resistance and whether metal wheels is actually better. Mike, if those are for microtrains, make me a deal. I'm interested. We will definitely be talking soon. So if they are the 0.537-inch, I am absolutely interested. Lynn wants to know what's in the box. As I said, these are micro-trained wheel sets. They come in 100. Oh, wait, you meant this box? Hold on. Let's see. We've got more paper. I don't know where to put the paper. I'm going to have to, like, clean up. I shouldn't. After I get done with this stream, I have to go pack because I still have packing to do for Amherst, and I don't want to forget anything. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but sometimes I get distracted when I'm doing things, and I need to stay focused so that I can, get packed for Amherst. Yeah, more paper, a lot of paper. I don't want to. I'm like making a mess, and I keep saying, I don't want to make a mess. I don't want to make a mess. Okay, so this is what brought me to the trains website in the first place. If you go back a ways, Tim from the channel They Make It Like That, Tim who lives up in Canada, does a bunch of graffiti work if you haven't seen it. But he does a lot of graffiti stuff. So I paid Tim to do some graffiti work for me, and I really liked it. And I said, you know what? I think it would be really cool. Like, I want to find some more people that can do graffiti for me on various train cars. So the cars that Tim from They Make It Like That did for me were these white Ringling Brothers 3-car sleeper sets. And Trains had 10 of these sets. I didn't buy 10 sets. I'm I have a problem. I don't have that big of a problem. Well, maybe I do. But I didn't buy 10 sets, but they were selling them for like $62. A list price on them is 90. Sometimes they go for like 115. I always wait till this kind of stuff goes on sale. I don't usually buy doubles of this kind of stuff, but I got these because I wanted to I want to see if I can find somebody else to do graffiti for me. So that's why I got those, and that's what got me onto the Trains website. So Steve 87 PSAP says, not so much of a need for clean socks and underwear in Springfield, Massachusetts. It is optional. I hate to say it, but I think there are some people in the model railroad world that would agree with that statement. No boy, say it ain't so. Heath, hell, I can't remember my wife's name half the time anymore. Cause some big problems when I get it wrong. Bernard. You don't want to call your wife a wrong name. That is just bad. Pack. You, camera, selfie stick, 360 camera, money, credit cards, 2 days of clothes, batteries, heavy coat, and gloves. I'm actually not going to bring a big heavy coat. I'm going to bring a light coat, but I'm not going to bring a heavy coat. I don't want to have a lot of stuff with me. But it's funny. I spent more time setting this up and getting this ready and testing this than I have doing actually any packing. I want I want to enjoy the filming. Like, I think it's fun. I don't know. There's something about, I enjoy the filming. It's really nice. David, let me know which sets you have and how much they're going for. If they're going for good pricing, I might be interested. Yeah, Mike, I saw that as well. A little bit of light rain on Friday. I'm not worried about the rain. What I'm shooting with on this rig, and I should probably find it if I can. I pulled off the cover, one of the covers on this, and it's not water resistant with the cover off. I should try and find the cover. But anyway, I've got an Insta360 and then I've got an iPhone camera, which are both, somewhat waterproof resistant. So I'm not worried about rain. I think we're all good. Steve says I have to pack for 2 weeks to a month in India. India again? Didn't you just come back from India? So David Z2G, when is the Amherst show? When are you leaving for Amherst? So the pre-show is going to be tomorrow. I am actually leaving tomorrow. I won't go over to the convention center, to the Big E. I don't know. I might. I don't think I'm going to go over to the convention center to the Big E. But I am going to get there tomorrow. People are setting up. The layouts go in on Thursday. I think maybe even Wednesday to set up. I am going to start streaming on Friday morning and doing some stuff Friday morning, which is primarily just the setup. Funny you should mention that. I don't see it anymore. I actually have an extra bag. Heath, you still need to buy my set of state cars. I keep looking at those state cars, and it's crazy. If you haven't priced out the state cars, go and price them out. A lot of them, like, normal pricing. And then is it Indiana or Illinois? One of the I states. I don't know why. I guess maybe they made less of them. But the cost of the Indiana, Illinois cars is just crazy. So you can find the 50 car sets and everything. It's like, I don't know. I've got a lot of sets up there. I don't think I'm going to get the state set. I have New York. I do have New York. but I think I'm gonna skip the state car set, although it's pretty cool though. That's pretty cool. Illinois was the first car. They did not meet the demand. Ah, there you go. When I was looking for these, there was an Illinois car that was for sale, and it was like $125. It's kind of like the solar car, right? The solar car is one car that I really wanted, the 2017 solar car. And I did finally get it, thanks to Roy Eltham, and I think Cameron may have had a little to do with it as well. But that car is very difficult to find, and it seems like that Illinois car is kind of the same level. Oh, California was expensive too. Was it expensive when it came out, or was it just expensive? Is it just expensive now? All right, so what I don't need are more 40-foot boxcars. All of these up here are 40-foot boxcars. Some of these are 40-foot boxcars. A lot of these are 40-foot boxcars. Some of those are 40-foot boxcars. One thing I do not need are more boxcars. I got more boxcars. I have a problem. I don't know. I'm curious if any of these are prototypical. I don't know if they are. If you don't know, my layout is primarily built around 40-foot boxcars. 8 40-foot boxcars is my plan for a train. 2 switchers, and oh, was it Thomas? Oh, I think Thomas sent the link. That is true. I think Thomas sent the link. Oh, so speaking about 2, you said the word 2, and I found out apparently there are 2 different releases of the solar car, both incredibly difficult to find, one with a roof walk and one without. Haven't been able to verify that yet, but somebody mentioned that to me when I was trying to get a hold of one. So since I was already getting this, what's throwing in one more boxcar, right? So I saw this one. This one was going for a really good price, and I decided to get it. One thing I didn't do is I wasn't 100% sure whether I actually had this one. So I got this one. This might be a duplicate. I don't know. But I kind of like the first responder cars. I like buying them when they come out. This is the Virginian Blue Smoky service, and it's got the Norfolk Southern horse on it with kind of like blue flames. I'm not really sure what this car is from. I just like it. Offers the 14th official N-Scale Enthusiast membership car. They want to recognize the Virginian Railway and Norfolk Southern. They've taken artistic liberty to combine the 2 roads in producing this unique car. So this is an N-Scale engineering car, 40-foot boxcar. So I didn't need one more. But oh yeah, blue, that's funny. That's a good one, Steve. Blue Smoke, that was a good one. So I didn't need one more 40-foot boxcar, but I bought one. I didn't just buy one. I was already shopping. I searched at this point by 40-foot boxcars, because that's what they talk about. If you pick an era and like pick like a specific area and a specific era, it starts limiting what you buy. And that is true. You search 40-foot boxcars and it cuts down your choices from like, 5,000 to like 4,900. So Yeah, I didn't just get one. I may have gotten more than one. Robert says you should stick to collecting cars. You need to run on your layout for obsessions and invest for scenery items. So here's another trick that I did. So these are to run on the layout. The layout is all 40 foot box cars, so these will run on the layout. Here's the other thing about this layout, the way I built it. This layout runs along the water. So there's not a lot of scenery on the layout. All the scenery is in the background. So most of what I have to build are background sets and stuff. It's mostly going to be ground cover. So I'm mostly going to buy some, like, foam and that sort of stuff. I have a lot of that foam stuff. And I'm going to invite people over to do my scenery for me because I don't like doing my scenery. So, Mike, we are, I guess we're on the second segment, right? And then we still have the actual topic for tonight, which I'm going to show you the panels a little bit that I've worked on, and I already mentioned the Valent. Anyway, all right. So the second boxcar that I got, I thought this was interesting. I liked the stripe, but more importantly, as you guys know, I like the pacemaker cars, and the pacemaker cars were all about express freight. So I saw this guy, and this is a less than carload freight car, LCL, which is a lot of what I'm going to run. I've got a team track. I've got a freight terminal over there. I've got a terminal storage building over here. So I'm going to run a lot of less than carload type of stuff. This is a Baltimore and Ohio time saver service, less than carload, fast, dependable car. It's older micro trains as well. You can tell from the label on it, but I just liked what it looked like. I thought it looked pretty interesting. So this was the second car that I got to go along with this one. So I've got two new 40-foot cars to run on the layout. Well, okay. I might have gotten more than just two. I don't think Sparky's here. I think Sparky is sleeping. He's planning on leaving at like 4 a.m. in the morning tomorrow to get there by like 4 p.m. So he's off doing that as well. But I saw this car and I said, well, this one can be in honor of Sparky. I can ship some stuff up to Sparky in Canada with this car. It is a 40-foot Conrail boxcar. So now at this point I have the sleeper set, which is what got me onto eBay and got me to make the purchase. And then I got the Virginian car, the B&O car, the Conrail car, and I got another KCS car. So I saw this KCS car and I figured that I have that KCS engine that I showed off earlier. I should probably get a KCS car to go with it. And this is not the Fruit Growers Express car. This is the Mandarin Orange Express. And I kind of liked the way they have the oranges cut up. And it's a 40-foot car, so I can run it on my layout because I like 40-foot cars. I like the design of them, and I like running 40-foot cars on the layout. So I got the sleeper set, I got the Virginian, I got the B&O, I got the Conrail, I got the KCS car, and I got the Niblets car. This is actually an Atlas. It's not a Microtrains car. So I will actually need some metal wheel sets for the Atlas cars as well, but it is another 40-foot car. It is Del Mays Niblets. And I thought, how could I not get a Niblets car? I don't even know what niblets are, but it seems to have to do something with taking the corn off the cob. And I like these cars. So in N scale as well, reading numbers is pretty difficult to do. So having cars that look very different and being able to put on your car cards niblets will make it easier for people that operate to find a car like this. So, you know, when you've got a Virginian or a B&O or the Conrail or the KCS or the niblets, it makes it easier to see when you're operating. If you, oh wait, what's this one? This is Lehigh Valley. Ian from Lehigh Valley subdivision, one of the model railroad YouTubers I've met at a meet and greet. He's modeling the Lehigh Valley. There's a bunch of other people that model the Lehigh Valley, and they had this 40-foot already weathered Lehigh Valley, factory weathered Lehigh Valley car. I don't think I have any Lehigh Valley cars on the layout, and I am doing an East Coast, Northeast Coast layout. This is 1970s era, built July of 1972, so this would potentially have run on the layout, maybe not, but it's, you know, it's just different, right? So I got the runner set. I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those unique and interesting cars. And then I thought Junction Senior, James from Dundas, he likes the TH&B, and he's always giving me a hard time because he wants me to give him my HO scale TH&B stuff that I got from Lynn McCurdy, and I keep saying no, not gonna do that. The Lehigh Valley car does not have the map on this side. I haven't taken it out. I don't know if there's a map on the other side or not. But I thought, you know, I've talked about wanting to get cars that I can, you know, ship stuff to other people's layouts, right? So like this Lehigh Valley one, I could ship stuff to Ian at Lehigh River Subdivision's layout. I've got this car from TH&B, so I can ship stuff up north to Canada, up to the TH&B that James from Dundas Model Railroad is making. So that's the runner set, and that's 7 other box cars. But you know, I was there, and while 7 is a lucky number, I saw this other one, and this is a 40-foot car, but I really like those 36-foot yellow reefers, the yellow wood reefers. I've got a book up. I'm not going to pull the book down. If I go pull that book down, it'll start a whole nother thing. But this is a 40-footer, not a 36-footer. This is also an Atlas. So again, I need Atlas metal wheels for this. But Columbia Soup. I thought this was kind of neat as well. It says, made by cooks who care, Columbia Soups. And again, going back to the car cards thing and trying to find a car on a layout for operations, it'll be easier to find. If you know, if I can put Columbia on the car card, it'll be easier to find than having to tell. I don't even know what the number is on this car. Number 7500. I mean, if I told you to find car 7500, would you be able to find it on here? David, I do not believe I have the car. If you send me the number, I can look it up. I need to update the inventory because I did buy a runner set and 8 more 40-foot box cars, and we got the KCS locomotive, and we've got the Joe Rader Black Rock Central car. So I didn't want to spend any money before Amherst, right? Oh, Dave, more money. Do I really want to spend more money? I know I should just swap to Microtrain's truck so that all the couplers are the same. Because on an ops-based layout, having Atlas and Microtrain's couplers can be a little bit difficult. Happy Valley Hobbies mentioned tank car. Should soup come in a tank car? Probably, but I'm going to guess that this was canned soup. It was already canned, put in the boxes. Again, my layout is primarily based around 40-foot box cars. I do have a couple of tank cars that I'm going to ship to Domino's. They are the Microtrains Suite tank cars or something like that. They did like a series of 8 tank cars. So I do have a couple of those. But for the most part, the layout is going to run, two switchers like this of some smaller 4 axles and 8 40-foot cars. I spent all this time talking about other stuff, right? I talked about the pre-show that I'm going to do at Amherst, 8 o'clock tomorrow night with Split Rock. I also talked about the meetup at Amherst that's Saturday at 8 o'clock at the Microtrains booth. I did talk about the microphone and that I'm not sure I'll be able to find the blue box that I used for the microphone, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to use that microphone or not for the show. I spent some time talking about my problem buying more trains, and I think the last thing we should talk about is how I've been keeping track and or not keeping track of what I need to do on this layout behind me. I do, as you guys have seen, there is some track that has gone down. I covered it up for a second there, but there is some track that's down. All the switch machines are wired up and everything, but I have to still get the switch machines running. I started working on the switch machines, and then I started getting a little confused as to where I was and what was going on. So the first thing that I did was I made an Excel spreadsheet. I love Excel spreadsheets. I'm a big fan of Excel spreadsheets. So I actually printed this one out, but essentially what it is it's the switch number, and then I have different sort of steps. So switch number, is it moving? Is it moving in the right direction? Is the frog power polarity correct? Are the LEDs working at all? Are the LEDs lighting up or not lighting up? Are the LEDs correct? Are they lighting up in the correct, are they green when it's going straight? Are they yellow when it's turning? And then I have some notes. So the only section that I've done so far is this section right here, which is the car float section. And, I started out okay. 1291 is both moving and moving in the correct direction. 1292, though, the way I have the switch machine mounted, I'm having a hard time reaching the switch to set it. The switch is right here. The switch is right here. And when you mount this, so this is mounted the long way, but you can also mount it the side way like this. So the bench top would be up top here. And when you meant about the bench top right here, the switch that you need to hit to program it is right here. So to get your hand up in there under the bench work in the back, which is where this one is, I just can't reach that switch right now. So that is what 1292 is. 1292 is that switch. So I just haven't been able to program 1292 yet. So I don't know yet. 1293 moves, but it's moving in the wrong direction. When I click the button for open, it closes, and when I click the button for close, it opens. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. 1295 just isn't working. I don't know why it's not working. It's just not working, but that's the way it is. 1296 working well. But as I started doing this, I realized, okay, so I've got this and I've got the layout, but I didn't label the turnouts on the top of the layout. So what would make this easier, right, is if I dropped into JMRI and I started making, or I had some panels, but I started making up some of these sub panels for the layout. But when I made up the sub panels, even though I programmed all of the switch machines so they're correct, like the number is in the right spot, I didn't number them on the panel either. So I started having problems. I couldn't match the number. I couldn't match the number to the thing, and I couldn't find a cheat sheet and whatever, blah blah, whatnot, and so forth. So I have these, on the layout, right? Here's the panel, right? So that you can, touch it. So that, this is the car float panel, and then this is the Riverside Yard panel, right? So the panels are looking great. So I had to go through, I didn't have to. I wanted to go through and label all those panels just to make my life easier, right? So all I would need is my printed out checklist. So, this is, oh, that's not that. That's this, right? But just print it out. So I have this printed out, and I could have my touch screen, and with these two things, I can make it work. So I went back into JMRI, and I started, nope, not there. Oh, yes, there. That's it there. Here we go. So then I started numbering them. So here you can now see, so 1291 here is actually numbered now. Here's 1296, 1292, whatever. So they're all numbered now, and they all, well, the ones that work, right? I mean, that's whatever. But I need to go through and number the rest of them. So I've numbered the car float, but I haven't numbered Riverside Yard yet. No numbers here. So before I start programming the switches, then I'm gonna put all of the numbers in here. Yeah, Russ, so I thought about programming everything before I mounted them. But what's nice about the DCC concept switches, I don't know, you can't really tell. I'm trying to, I don't know what to put in front of it. Does that work? So I don't know if you can tell, but that switch wire is straight up and down. The way they send these is they send them centered. Yes, you can recenter them, but they come centered. So I just decided I was just gonna program them, and it won't be too bad. The reason I can't reach stuff is because I've got storage under here. When I pull all that storage out, it'll be easier to get under there. I just haven't pulled it. I just haven't pulled it out yet. So this one's basically done. This one I need to work on. Oh, I'm showing you. I'm not showing you. So this one's done. This one I need to work on. So what I was talking about earlier when I said, let's go back to the Excel. When I said it's going in the, whether it's going in the right direction or not, right? Which is these two cells here. What I'm referring to is when I'm in JMRI and you throw the switch, which isn't going to work right now because I don't have everything hooked up. But when I throw this switch, oh, it is actually working. Apparently it's on. Let's zoom in then. The command station is on. So when you throw the switch, right, it actually shows you which direction it's thrown in. So it's green this way, it's yellow when it's diverging. So if this is incorrect, then there's a command. I think you just set either 197 or 297. I don't remember which. But I just need to flip it. So there's a DCC command to flip it, easy peasy. So that column, that column in the Excel about whether it's going in the right direction is just telling me I need to flip them. And the reason, so just to go back to this Excel for a second, the reason that this is in the order that it is in is because I need to set the direction of the switch, the direction it's throwing, before I can wire in the frog wire and make sure that the frog wire has the correct polarity, which then is before I would check that the LEDs work and are the correct polarity. So the other reason I made this is so that I do things in the correct order. Basically, power it up, check the direction that it's throwing in. I'll test the frog power, make sure I got that right. Then I will check the LED indicators. So Matthew, apologize. Matthew Paring says, Cobalt's a beautiful system if you can afford them. This is an expensive hobby, and the electronics are the part of the hobby that I most enjoy. So it is where on this layout I am spending the majority of my money is on the electronics. I want to, sorry, there's something leaning against my backdrop that I just want to make sure it's not doing anything it shouldn't. That's the part that I focus camera. That's the part that I enjoy the most. So that's the part that I'm putting the money into. I'm buying old rolling stock off of eBay so that I can afford things like DCC decoder installed switch machines. Thomas from Split Rock says the bitterness of poor quality remains long after the sweetness of low prices forgotten, and that is absolutely true. It is very important to me that for an operating layout that the track work is as bulletproof as I can absolutely make it, and that the turnouts work as absolutely best as they can, and that the operators have a really good experience operating the layout. And we'll see. I'm hoping these touch panels are a good experience. I've had mixed results with them. I'm working very hard to make them user friendly. I will also, as I mentioned, another great thing about the DCC Concept switch machines is they have contacts for you to wire in a push button. So I will be wiring in a local push button to the turnout right next to the throw bar. So you can, if you want to switch, a turnout and you don't want to try and find it on the panel or anything, you can just push the button. So the DCC Concepts turnouts have a lot of good pieces and parts to them. The next time you guys will see me will be tomorrow night. I will likely be in a hotel room, probably in Springfield, Massachusetts, and I will be on a live stream that Thomas Splitrock will be hosting. We'll be talking a little bit about what we are looking forward to And then check out my channel. Thomas, if you have the link, post that up in the chat, please. And then check out my channel, set the notifications. I will be streaming at Springfield over the weekend, provided I don't forget any of my camera gear, which at this point we've got more camera gear packed than we have anything else packed. So I'll probably have camera gear and probably forget my shoes or something of that nature. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. Just a reminder, if you happen to not be subscribed, please subscribe. I'm trying to play a little game where I break 2750 before Springfield. I gotta go get on an Amtrak train tomorrow. I need to go get myself ready. I am going to sit on that train from here to Springfield and enjoy the trip. You guys enjoy your night from the city that never sleeps. Farewell, model citizens.
It's all about humanity.